What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Raise.
Stayed the same in the process of turning After from a book into a movie, but there's also no doubt that some major changes were made. Writer Anna Todd's movies feature the story of Tessa and Hardin and their rocky relationship. But let's take a look back at how the characters and the storylines drift from the book. The film was an on-screen adaptation of her popular Wattpad story that was published into a novel titled After. Keep watching to find out what Hardin should have looked like if the movie was completely adopted from the book. Hardin. So, as we said, we'll start with Hardin Scott, the British boy with some terrible issues who also has an egotistic and self-centered nature. If you've read the books, you certainly know how far he can go and how rude he can be. Tessa is the one who constantly suffers because of his offensive criticisms and hurtful words throughout the book. But if you compare the first book to the first movie, you can only see this side of him in one scene from the movie. Also, when it comes to these offensive words, the movie seems to have forgotten them. In the book, you simply get frustrated because of the way he talks to Tessa. And it's not like fans of the book didn't enjoy seeing a smoother Hardin in the movie, simply because Tessa never deserved such an attitude. But if the movie completely took all details from the book, we could have seen what After is really about.
Nothing happened between us, okay? I have a boyfriend.
Us? I thought we were talking about Pride and Prejudice.
Tristan. The story in the movie features hero fiennes-tiffin and Josephine Langford in the title roles of Hardin and Tessa. The movie actually created some controversy about the changes made in the story. Some felt that the changes didn't catch some of the most important emotions from the novel. While we can agree on this, we can't judge since the author wasn't able to completely put the whole story in a 2-hour film. One of the biggest surprises in the movie was, however, Tristan's character being portrayed by a girl. For some of you who haven't read the book, this might come as the biggest surprise. The character played by Pia Mia is a guy in the book. Anna Todd said that if she could go back and write After again, she would definitely give more diversity to the story. That's why she believed that Tristan being a girl and being in a relationship with Steph in the movie would somehow give a better touch in the whole movie. Do you guys agree with this? Or do you think Tristan should have been a boy? So when it comes to Zed Evans, the character has been forgotten on the big screen. The scenes we got of him were certainly not enough to affect Tessa and Hardin's relationship. Other roles. Fans all over the world loved Netflix's After immediately when they stumbled upon the new drama films. And if you're equally obsessed as we are, you know the movie is based on a best-selling book. We are sure most of you have read all the books Anna Todd has offered, and unfortunately, with every great book that is turned into a movie, we often miss too many details. The book After was written by Anna Todd, and the movie was directed by Jenny Gage, with the guidance of Todd. While the movie is a globally successful and amazing film, especially because of the incredibly talented cast, a lot of fans were disappointed by cinematic changes made in the process. Now, the main events and central parts in the movie stay related to the story in the book, but the details that were important to fans in the book get lost from page to screen. There are some things where I knew, I wanted, and very much supported, and sometimes even drove the change from the book, because it's 6 years later and times are different. Everything is different from what it was. Todd told International Business Times. Todd also talked about some characters who were in the book. For example, Logan and Nate, who played minor roles, and according to her, because of the time limit they had to cut them off. And as we said, she also talked about changing 2 male characters to females, which also included a professor.
Hi. Are you trying to get me kicked out of this place?
Carol. Tessa's mom is certainly one of the characters in the movie that a lot of fans hated, but she's also one of the characters that were completely changed from the book. Because of this, the whole storyline got changed. Still, Selma Blair did an amazing job portraying Carol, and we can all agree that she made the character a little more tolerable. However, for those of you who haven't read the book, you should expect some major character differences. She practically hates the thought of Hess's relationship, and she uses every chance to make Tessa's life miserable. We certainly had a difficult but sort of cute mom and daughter bond.
I'm sorry, too.
Hardin and Tessa. Now let's talk about Hardin and Tessa's relationship. As we all know, their relationship in the movie was pretty toxic, but not as toxic as it was in the book. Hardin is certainly more delicate in the book, and fans surely noticed how bad he was for Tessa and how awful he made her life. In the book, he plays with her emotions and uses her since the house party. He forces her into swimming nude at the lake and kissing her even though she was in a relationship. Tessa eventually opens up and he shuts down and insults her at the diner, saying she's naive to think he'll date her. He then falls in love with her but does not have the courage to tell her about the bet. The book makes it more critical when it comes to how bad Hardin really is, so it's really a big deal how much Hardin changed from the book. The book presented Hardin with a terrible mouth that constantly insults Tessa. He's also more violent in the book. Do you guys think it was a good decision to make Hardin softer in the movie? Or should he have stayed the same as he was in the book? You can tell us in the comments. Also, press that like button if you haven't done it already.
I want to show you something.
So, show me then.
It's a place.
Different storylines. Now, let's talk about storylines and how they drift from the book to the movie. The book was much more practical when it comes to Hardin and Tessa's bond and connection. We're mainly talking about the way it ended Tessa and Hardin's relationship. After she finds out everything that Hardin was hiding from her, she decided to leave him. And we simply couldn't go on without mentioning how Hardin apologizes to Tessa. He apologizes to her by letting out his feelings about love in their final English class paper. We certainly weren't expecting this. At the very end, Tessa is going to see Hardin at the lake. This doesn't happen in the film, and according to many fans, they should have included this storyline. Do you guys agree?
Hun, do you mind taking Tessa shopping? She needs something for tonight. Trust you.
Let's go have some fun.
The bet. Last but not least is probably the biggest change made in the process of turning After into a movie. When books are turned into movies, they are usually small changes made during the adaptation process. Sometimes this is about some quotes that don't sound exactly right when they're said out loud, and sometimes characters and storylines need to be refreshed to catch up with the times. But the film completely changed the dare that was about making Tessa fall in love with Hardin. In the book, the dare was to see if Hardin could take Tessa's virginity. When you read the book, you can't believe the details of the dare. They are certainly more critical than those in the movie. Hardin actually kept the bloodied sheets from their night together to show his friends as proof. We also notice the subject of the apartment. In the film, Hardin makes Tessa believe that she's more than welcome to stay there after her mother cuts her off. In the book, Hardin makes Tessa sign a lease so she doesn't leave him. What do you guys think about these changes? You can tell us in the comment section below. If you enjoyed our video, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you never miss any of our videos in the future. As always, thanks for watching.